Okay, so in one of your articles you claim that Poles are their own greatest enemy. How can you explain that?
This is obviously a slightly tongue-in-cheek remark, but it is something that actually a lot of Poles themselves say, and a lot of Poles would agree with it. I think anyone who understands even the basic Polish history understands how complicated it is, how much suffering and misfortune is involved. You had a state that collapsed and was partitioned by 3 invading powers. It was then 123 years later re-established, only to be occupied and divided again and wiped off the map a second time during the Second World War, during which the citizens of the country endured mass murder, expulsions, ethnic cleansing, and of course the Holocaust. And then that was followed by 50 years of communist rule, which obviously Czechs are very, very familiar with. And it means that there has always been an eternal discussion about why this is the case, and often people look for someone to blame. And there's lots of blame to go around. Obviously hostile foreign powers, although some people would say that, well, they may be hostile, but the weaknesses of the Polish state made it vulnerable, and this is why is the case. But there's also lots of people, unfortunately, who would blame, for example, ethnic minorities for subverting, for not being loyal, or for making the society too complicated or fractious. The point is that at various different points, there have been Poles who have blamed all kinds of other people for their problems. Sometimes rightly, sometimes wrongly. But the point is, the Russians no longer occupy Poland, the Germans no longer occupy Poland, the Austrians no longer occupy Poland, the Swedes no longer occupy Poland, the communists are no longer there. There is a minimal, there are hardly any ethnic minorities anymore, so there are no Jews to blame, no Ukrainians to blame, no Lithuanians to blame. Poland and the Poles eventually got everything that they always wanted over 1,000 years. Independent, democratic state, anchored in the West and accepted as a member of the Western family of nations. And the fact that it's now being thrown away, in the sense that this democracy is being severely undermined, and Poland's reputation is being shredded in the way it has been in the last few years, is so tragic, because of all the people that one could blame in the past, there is no one left to blame anymore. Poland is the Poles' own responsibility. And if, having finally achieved what they always wanted, they decide to throw it all away, then it will prove that they were always their own worst enemy.